You are Locked On Phillies Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Philadelphia, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome in, Phillies Postcast here on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. My name is Mark Farzetta, and let me just get it out of the way. I missed it by a second. Hit the intro to the show, had me for a split second beforehand. Blast. Error on the host. Either way, welcome in. This show today is brought to you by the amazing, the incredible people at Monopoly Go. Monopoly Go, I admit it, I got a competitive side, and you probably do too if you're a sports fan. And I'm a big fan of Monopoly Go, the mobile hit twist on the classic Monopoly. So join your friends and download Monopoly Go, now free on the App Store and Google Play Store. What a game from your Philadelphia Phillies as they come away with a 5-0 victory. They come away with the series split in the 4-game set against the Reds in Cincinnati. You got Wheeler out there dealing. You got Bryce Harper hitting home runs with that dad's strength, welcoming his third child, second daughter into the world just days ago. Comes back, hits his 5th home run of the season. Little trash talk with the fans there in the first row. And we have Orion Kerkering pitching an inning in 2/3. I'll take it. I'm fine with it. Way to go, Tinker Topper, to not tinker as much as you usually do in that situation. And Alec Boehm, oh my goodness gracious, you know what he does? He goes out there and he hits in the cleanup spot tonight, or this afternoon. Let's break it all down here with, as we always do, 3 big things, ladies and gentlemen. Number 1, Zack Wheeler, just absolutely dominant. Getting these numbers here from our friend Todd Zalecki of MLB.com. Zack Wheeler has pitched 6+ innings while allowing only 1 hit in back-to-back starts. Only the second Phillies pitcher in the modern era to have consecutive starts of 6+ with only 1 or no more hits. And that's Marvin Freeman, the last one to do it in 1986. But wait, there's more. Zack Wheeler is also part of a pitching staff that through 26 games, the starting rotation, through 26 games, has an ERA of 2.12. 2.12 is the Phillies starting pitching ERA, and Zack Wheeler is right there with them. 2.12 through the first 26 games of the season. It's only the second time they've had as good an ERA through 26 games since a year into Major League Baseball, keeping track of the earned run average for pitchers. So it's the first time since 1915, ladies and gentlemen, that this Phillies pitching staff has been off to such a fantastic start. 1915, the Phillies starting pitchers, who I think back in the day, they just pitched for like 5 days straight. Then nobody got a break. 1.72 ERA through the first 26 games in 1915. 2024, this year, the Phillies starting rotation has a 2.12 ERA. Not such a bad start to the year. And let's jump into it when we talk about Zack Wheeler, because he is the star of the show today. Did not, in a very similar situation, and this got me thinking about Spencer Turnbull, because Spencer Turnbull, after last night's game, was addressing the media, and he said that the mound seemed lower in Cincinnati. Maybe throwing guys off a little bit. Spencer Turnbull, we know, didn't have his best stuff, but got through 5 innings. Should have gotten through 6 innings, but didn't get the opportunity because old Tinker Topper decided to tinker. Then, before that, in the second game of the series, you saw Christopher Sanchez, again, not have his best stuff. He only got you 3 innings of work. And then the bullpen, not blaming the mound on this, but the bullpen, they just got demolished. So maybe there was something to Spencer Turnbull because he struggled through those 5 innings, but got through those 5 innings. Christopher Sanchez, of course, struggled through those 3 innings, but got through those 3 innings, and that was that. And then today, Zack Wheeler really hits, no pun intended, a bit of a speed bump. You look at that 3rd inning in particular. Phillies were able to put up runs at the top of the 3rd inning, and then in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So the 1st and 2nd inning, Zack Wheeler gets out there, no problem. 3rd inning, he goes out there, including a 6-pitch 2nd inning. The 3rd inning, he goes out there and goes 34 pitches in that bottom of the 3rd inning, struggling mightily. He's got an 8-pitch at bat that ends in a walk to Elly De La Cruz. He's able to strike out Benson, looking on a splitter, and a 5-pitch at bat, and then he caps it off by loading the bases after walking or faces Steer, who lines out to right field in a 9-pitch at bat. Fortunately, Nick Castellanos somehow magically found the Jets and was able to sprint into that right center field gap and be able to catch that baseball that would have been, at the very least, a bases clearing triple. And made it a one-run ball game at 4-3. But Zack Wheeler struggled in that third inning, but was able to find his way out of it. And also today, in particular, Alex Tosi, who was behind the plate calling balls and strikes, everything close to the zone was a strike. If it was a ball's length outside the strike zone, still a strike for the most part. So a pitcher's umpire today. And in that third inning, it was certainly showing. Then in the fourth inning, again, struggles through that inning, an 18-pitch inning. After that, he's able to corral a little bit more in the fifth inning, a 10-pitch inning for Zack Wheeler. And then in the sixth inning, his last inning of work, 22 pitches for him. Struggling through it, but got through it. Gutted out the performance today. And all in all, when all was said and done, Zack Wheeler is able to toss 6 scoreless innings of baseball for the Phillies to help them to that split and also their 16th win of the season. His line on the day, 1 hit through those 6 innings, issuing 4 walks and 8 strikeouts, 103 pitches. He does lower his ERA to 193 on the young year and improves to 2-3 on the season. The splitter was something that he was a little bit more reliant on than we have seen in his previous starts. It seems like as he has gone on through this season, he has started to incorporate that splitter. And I remember that was a huge talking point in Clearwater, Florida, when the Phillies were down there in spring training about Zack Wheeler trying to incorporate this split pitch. He was using it beautifully, especially in that first inning. He was able to get Benson looking at it. He was later able to get Steer on a sinker a little bit later in the game. And then he was able to get, I think it was India on a splitter to get out of that fourth inning as well. Also used the sweeper remarkably well today, but the splitter we had seen more than any other start in Zack Wheeler's season. Through the first month of the year, we have seen the splitter today more. We did see the splitter today more so than we had seen with Wheeler. So good to see him incorporating that pitch that he was working on in spring training and getting it to get outs in this game today. So Zack Wheeler, credit to you at being able to pick up your second win of the season. Number 2 of 3 big things, Bryce Harper comes back. You love to see it. Tom McCarthy alluded to it multiple times throughout the broadcast. He just finds a way to be able to pick the moments and rise to the occasion in the big moments. And I didn't even realize it. I didn't even hear it until I think it was NBC Sports Philadelphia put it out afterwards. It was somebody yelling out overrated. And this has happened before with Bryce Harper. A 2-time MVP, overrated. Okay, let's see how this ends. It ends with a 2-run home run to right field is how it ended. And that was in the third inning. And that third inning was wonderful. It starts off with Nick Castellanos getting a base knock. Hey, look at this. Nick Castellanos making things happen. Then Bryson Stott steps up, hits a triple down the right field line. Rojas, unfortunately, who took the 0 for today, he makes the first out of the inning. Kyle Schwarber gets the sac fly RBI, plating Bryson Stott from third base. And then Bryce Harper steps up there after a ground rule double by Trea Turner. And Bryce Harper goes down and just demolishes a 2-run home run to right field, way back in right field. And as Bryce Harper touches up with home plate, he looks behind the stands or looks behind home plate, and he looks at a fan and just raises his arm like, what? And I'm like, oh, was there a fan trash talking him? Oh, there was a fan trash talking him. Calling him overrated. He put that pitch 384 feet into the right field bleachers. He was down in the count 0-2, battled back to make it a 2-2 count, and then waited on a changeup out over the outer half of the plate and just pulled it down the right field line for a 2-run home run. Phillies take the lead 4-0 at that point, putting up 4 runs in that third inning. Capitalized, exclamation point on the end of it, by that Bryce Harper home run for his 5th home run of the season. It's called dad strength, folks. You ever try to arm wrestle your dad when you were just a wee lad or lattice? I don't know. Lassie? I don't know. You ever do that? The dad strength kicks in, and Bryce Harper, welcoming his 3rd child, kicks in that dad strength there in the 3rd inning. You'll love to see it. As the game went on, Bryce Harper got another base knock for the Phils to help him out. And if this is a nice little reset button, if time away from the game helped him a little bit, having another kid helped him most of the time away, then all will be right with the world. After the game, they were interviewing him, and I caught it right before I went live here with you. Right after the game, they of course go out. The daycare kids go out and they dump a little cold water on Bryce Harper. Let's just say he got away with a little tap. Yeah, some might even say it was below the belt on Bryson Stott. But he got him. Phillies having some fun. And you can have some fun when you haven't lost a series since the second series of the season. And yes, it was against the Reds. So Bryce Harper, Zack Wheeler, hat tip to you. Next hat tip goes to a guy that we haven't really been a big fan of. Have not been a big fan of so far this year. Rob Thompson. Despite the fact that the Phillies are off to their best start in 7 years, Rob Thompson is not getting a lot of love from the Philadelphia fan base. Include me in this, because I have not had a lot of love for Rob Thompson. But oh my goodness gracious, I can't believe it. He actually did it. So Alec Boehm has been doing a phenomenal job of driving in runs, getting extra base hits. He's got 3 home runs on the season, which is of course not nothing. And he actually promotes Alec Boehm in the lineup. What? Yeah. Somebody actually earned a promotion. Now, you might see that say that Brandon Marsh, he earned a promotion early there. Like, yeah, but that's a guy going from what, 7 to 6? A guy going from 8 to 6, excuse me, because he kept Nick Castellanos in that 6 spot. Or 7 spot. So that's a small promotion. But a guy being moved up to be the cleanup hitter for this offense, Rob Thompson, look at you. Rewarding a great effort. Rewarding great production with the promotion to bat Alec Boehm in the cleanup spot. And did he do anything to help his manager today? Hell yeah, he did. He had another double, his 9th of the season. Trea Turner also had his 9th double, by the way. So how about that? Rob Thompson decided to give a guy a little bit of a bump. He gets a bump. He rewards his manager by getting another extra base hit today. All right, Rob Thompson. But wait, there's more. I'm going to praise Rob Thompson a little bit more because he really pissed me off last night after the game when he said Spencer Turnbull. Now, remember, during the postcast yesterday, I said, you're not going to have Spencer Turnbull go out there for one more inning? You're not going to have him pitch the 6th inning? He has been cruising for the most part. He's only allowed 1 run through 5 innings. He's only at 89 pitches. He could get another inning out of him, could get another 11-pitch inning there, and he's done it 100. He's going back to the bullpen anyway. I know they haven't said yet, but he's going back to the bullpen. So Rob Thompson, after the game, he's asked about Spencer Turnbull, and he's like, well, we don't really know yet. Well, what about Spencer Turnbull? Would you give him one more inning? And Rob Thompson said, like Spencer Turnbull, he had to sit for 25 minutes. They had 2 pitching changes in the top of the 6th inning. I wasn't going to make him pitch after that. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness gracious. He sat for 25 minutes? What happened to this? What happened to staying loose? You have an opportunity to go out there. What, do you want to give the ball to Sir Anthony Dominguez? Do you want Sir Anthony Dominguez to cost you the opportunity of a win? If I'm Spencer Turnbull, I won't. So they want that. I don't want that. Spencer Turnbull goes. They go up to Spencer Turnbull in the clubhouse after the game. Hey, would you have liked to go out there for another inning? Yeah. Were you done? No. Did you want to come out of the game? No. Did you feel like you were healthy enough to keep going? Yes. Are you confident enough in your arm after Tommy John surgery? Are you comfortable enough in your neck after an injury? Are you comfortable enough with the injuries you've dealt with over the last 2 seasons to go out there and try to give one more inning, especially when everybody knows you're most likely going back to the bullpen anyway? Yeah, I'm comfortable. Spencer Turnbull said that after last night's game. Now, it wasn't a throw the manager under the bus type moment. It was just a player being honest. And me, as someone who wanted to see Spencer Turnbull try to go at least one more inning, and someone who did not want to see Sir Anthony Dominguez go out there and pitch, I would have liked to see Spencer Turnbull go out there. We didn't see Spencer Turnbull go out there, and the Phillies lost the game. So now fast forward to today. I couldn't believe it. Orion Kerkering goes out there in the 7th inning, cruises through that 7th inning. No worries, no problems in that 7th inning. And then, what? After the up-down, which every manager now is trying to have a pitcher avoid, the up-down, he goes through the 7th inning, gets a 1-2-3 7th inning, cruises through. Then, after the up-down, he gets up for the 8th inning. And in the 8th inning, he gets, what does he get there? He gets steered a line out, and then they decide to go and get or should be gets steered to get no, should be. Espinal flies out to right, so he gets the first out that way. Then Mahle comes up and gets a single, and then Benson strikes out, and then he walks De La Cruz. And at that point, Rob Thompson's like, okay, I think I'm done with him. I think it's time to bring in Jeff Hoffman. Jeff Hoffman comes in, gets steered a line out to right field, and any chance of a rally inning or a 2-out lightning is done when Hoffman came into the game. Great to see it. Love to see it. But I also love the idea of Rob Thompson trusting a young arm like Orion Kerkering to have the up down, come back, and then go out there and fight. Now, you could say they used a lot of bullpen arms last night, so they were trying to see, they were getting whatever they could out of Kerkering. He went out there in the 8th inning, in the 7th inning. He got Martini to strike out on 5 pitches, Indy to ground out on 6, so he's at 11 pitches at that point, and then Candelario popped out to shortstop in a 5-pitch inning there. So we're at the 16-pitch inning. See if you get a couple more out of them. That's exactly what they did. But credit to Rob Thompson for 2 things. One, moving Alec Boehm up to the cleanup spot. I think it's a much better position for him in the order, and it's more advantageous for the entire lineup to score runs on a consistent basis. And then the other is giving Orion Kerkering at least 2 more outs, giving them another opportunity to go out there and not just get you 1 inning, but get you 2 innings. And help out your bullpen in the process of guys that just threw a lot of pitches last night in particular. So credit to Rob Thompson for today. I will give Tinker Topper his due. Credit where credit's due. Credit's due today. He gets the credit today, baby. Love what Tinker Topper had to do today. A couple more things that we're going to jump into coming up here about this game. One has to do with Johan Rojas, and the other has to do, oh my goodness gracious, with Trea Turner and the tear that he is on. We'll get into those 2 topics. A little bit later in the program. We'll get into looking ahead as the Phillies now have 6 more games left, 2 3-game series left on this 10-game road trip after taking 2 of 4 against Cincinnati Reds. More on that in a few when we return here on Locked On Phillies Postcast. How about, oh my goodness, you guys having fun? You guys having a good time with Prize Picks? If you're not having a good time with Prize Picks, well, then you need to jump in and make sure you're having your time with Prize Picks, ladies and gentlemen, because Prize Picks, it's where it's at. When you talk about Prize Picks, you're talking about the most fun you could have when it comes to daily fantasy sports. Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy app with more than 3 million members, is the easiest and most exciting way to get in on all the action while you watch your favorite sports and your favorite players. And all you got to do is pick more or less. I had Zack Wheeler going more than 5 innings. I was very happy he went more than 5 innings today. Went 6. So I won on that one. As far as less, when you go to less, I had a feeling that Johan Rojas was going to hit a little bit of a wall today. Just did not have a good feeling. I went for less on hits, and that hit. I hit. He didn't. So you can focus on everything, especially in Major League Baseball, when you're talking about what could go on with Prize Picks. Get in on all the Major League action this baseball season, and now with the NBA playoffs as well. In fact, you could win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks as you and the world's best players take the game to a whole new level during basketball's postseason. Now went up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. That's right. You could turn $10 into $1,000 with basketball. Also with hockey's postseason as well, all on Prize Picks, and America's #1 fantasy sports app. Prize Picks even offers injury insurance so that your entries, let's say they stay in the game, even if they play, and they get injured, injury insurance. How great does that sound? For basketball games, you can also have a player who exits the game in the first half, and that player will, if they don't return for the second half, Prize Picks has you covered. Fantasy sports insurance might be the greatest idea ever. Prize Picks, really simple to play. You can make picks and submit your entry in less than 60 seconds. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types for you to make on Prize Picks, the #1 fantasy sports app. So download the app today. Use promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's LOCKEDONMLB. You see it on the bottom of the screen right there for your first deposit match up to $100. That's right. You can have a great time with Prize Picks. Great daily fantasy. Download the app today. Use code LOCKEDONMLB for your first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more, pick less. It's just that easy with Prize Picks. Are you having fun? Are you having fun with Monopoly Go? You heard me talking about it in the open of the show. Oh, boy. Huge announcement for me. I'm still atop the leaderboard of Monopoly Go. If you haven't downloaded Monopoly Go just yet, what are you waiting for? You probably heard of it by now. It's been downloaded over 150 million times. So yeah, you probably have heard of it. It's a great mobile twist on the classic Monopoly game, and you can play anywhere at any time. You can explore hundreds of Monopoly boards from Las Vegas to Camelot to the moon, all while raking in a huge fortune. And you can play against your friends. That's who I'm in this group with. I got 5 other friends on Monopoly Go. I'm at the top of the leaderboard right now. I was third, had a big rally. Now I'm number 1. You can charge your friends rent on the iconic properties, just like classic Monopoly. You can charge your friends rent, and also with the iconic properties that are out there, make even more money. Go after it all with Monopoly money. Pulling this. This is my favorite part. Heists. What? Yeah. Bank heists in the game of Monopoly Go. Heist your friends' banks, taking wrecking ball to their landmarks. Oh, all of it's available on Monopoly Go. My favorite part, again, though, is the leaderboards, where you can see where you really are, where you're really at. You can be the Monopoly tycoon of your friend group, and also see who's going bankrupt. That's also fun. So make sure that you take advantage of all they're offering at Monopoly Go, and see how fast you can rise in all the charts. Download Monopoly Go right now. Now free on the App Store and Google Play Store. That is Monopoly Go, free on the App Store and Google Play Store as well. I was talking about Johan Rojas. Let's talk about the cold before we talk about the red hot, okay? Johan Rojas had his modest 5-game hitting streak snapped today. Went 0 for 4 from the plate. Some good wood on the ball today. Yeah, some good wood on the ball today, but not certainly his best effort that we have seen him being able to put together in the recent memory here. Had the 5-game hit streak snapped. He had at least 1 hit in his last 3 games, multi-hit games over the course of the last 6, actually. So nice little modest hitting streak here for Johan Rojas. Bound to cool off at some point. Today just happened to be the day for it to cool off for Rojas. But one of the things I am enjoying about watching Johan Rojas's maturation process when it comes to what you're seeing him do in the batter's box is the patience, for the most part, in what you've been seeing from him in the batter's box. The first 2 weeks of the season, absolutely, unquestionably looked lost. You could even bleed that into the 3rd week of the season. But recently, he looks like a guy that is getting a lot more comfortable. And normally, yeah, you could throw up some flares when you're talking about a young guy going 0 for 4. But how he has hit over the last 5-6 games, how he has stolen bases, not just that, how he has gotten on base as well with being able to work walks. We've talked about it before, but a 9-hole hitter figuring it out when he does figure it out and he does get those better plate approaches today, those approaches at the plate, he starts flipping the lineup over to a point where he can get Kyle Schwarber up. That does this lineup favors tenfold. And that's what you really want to rely on when you're talking about a guy figuring it out at the plate, like we've been talking about with Johan Rojas. Today, not encouraging with 0 for 4, but it's going to happen. He's not going to have that 56-game hit streak, unfortunately. But he goes out there tonight, at least gives you a couple of good ABs in that. Now, that's the cold part of it for 1 game, cold part of it. The red-hot part of it has to do with Trea Turner. 3 hits in the game today. And you talk about a guy being able to get you multi-hit games for Trea Turner in particular. Look at this. During the homestand, he had 5 multi-hit games. Last night, he goes out there, gets you a hit, 1 for 4 after taking the collar the day before. Goes out there last night, gets you a hit, scores 2 runs, steals a base, gets caught stealing once on that's just the way it's scored between third and home, unfortunately. And then today, really helped get things going in that 4th inning. Or excuse me, in that 3rd inning. And what was so great about Trea Turner was that last night's game had one particular problem for the Phils. They couldn't get the big inning. They had plenty of opportunities to have a big inning, and they couldn't get the big inning. The most runs they were able to score in an inning last night was 1, and they did it 4 separate times. But in today's game, Castellanos in that 3rd inning, as I mentioned earlier, led it off with a single. Nice sign. Bryson Stott gets the RBI triple. Great sign, but that was 1 run. Can they keep on adding on? You get the pop out from Johan Rojas to first base. So now you got a runner on 3rd with 1 out. You're starting to sweat. Is it going to be another opportunity here where the Phillies have an opportunity to put up more than 1 run in the inning, put up the famous crooked number? Kyle Schwarber stepped up, did his job, sac fly to left field, a run crossed the plate. Trea Turner then steps up. Not only did you get your second run of that inning, Trea Turner belts one to center field, one hops over the wall for the ground rule double. Could have potentially, most likely would have been a triple. 2 triples in 1 inning is also a very good thing, but it hopped over the wall. He gets the ground rule double. Either way, he puts himself in scoring position. But bottom line is he put himself on base for Bryce Harper, who then hit the 2-run home run. So you have a chance there for a big inning. You get the big inning. Instead of just settling for 1 run, you kept it going with Kyle Schwarber's sac fly, and then Trea Turner pushed it even further by getting on base for Bryce Harper, who hit the 2-run home run. All of a sudden, you get a 4-run inning. We looked at opportunities for the Phillies in last night's game where they were 4 for 16 with runners in scoring position. The opportunity in the second inning, the opportunity in the third, the fifth, and the seventh to actually have that big inning, you didn't get it. Today, you got it, and it was the difference in the ballgame. Even though you got one more run later in the game when Brandon Marsh had the RBI single, Bryson Stott had the RBI single, plating Brandon Marsh to make it the 5-0 ball game that it actually ended up being. That's great too. But the Phillies are going to need those big numbers. They're going to need those big crooked numbers like they put up in the third inning as the season goes on. They make more of a habit of that, you'll make more of a habit of winning, especially if this pitching staff stays as solid and as great as it has been. And I know everyone is on the same page here. Nobody wants Spencer Turnbull to go into the bullpen. Not one person. I don't. I want him to stay in the starting rotation. But if you're going to put a guy out there that's been pitching as great as he has been, if he keeps that going and carries that into the bullpen, maybe that means less to Sir Anthony Dominguez. I know it got brought up during the broadcast, but I had the same thought. When I saw Orion Kerkering come out for the second inning, speaking about guys that could be hot right now, when I saw Orion Kerkering come out for his second inning of work there in the 8th inning, I thought, could this be a test? I mean, everything's a test at Major League Baseball's level, right? But seeing him come out there, I went, And yeah, Ruben Amaro Jr. did allude to it during the broadcast, but maybe this is an audition here to see if you're going to be flipping spots here with Orion Kerkering becoming more of a pivotal 7th inning guy, pivotal 8th inning guy. Another option between Jose Alvarado and Jeff Hoffman coming in to finish things off. Maybe you have Orion Kerkering coming in there in that 7th inning or 8th inning to set up whoever the closer is going to be in that role. Maybe Sir Anthony Dominguez gets bumped down. Maybe Gregory Soto gets bumped down. Maybe Orion Kerkering gets elevated to more vital innings, vital to the Phillies closing out games where a starter has already gone out there and maybe like today, thrown 103 pitches through 6 scoreless innings and only surrendered 1 hit. Maybe this is him playing himself into a bigger role. Hey, we just saw it with our boy Alec Boehm. Now he's batting cleanup. Maybe we're going to see it with Orion Kerkering. I'd love to see him take the bull by the horns in that regard for Orion Kerkering. All right, we'll look ahead. Coming up, see what the Phillies got left on this 10-game road trip after splitting with the Reds in Cincinnati. We'll take a look ahead at the schedule for the Phillies coming up. But first, some more words from our wonderful sponsors. Have you heard about Policy Genius? Do yourself a favor. Check out Policy Genius. We all know life insurance is an important safety net for your family, but trying to find the right policy on your own, well, it can be time-consuming, it can be frustrating, and yes, overwhelming. Enter Policy Genius, the country's leading online insurance marketplace. It saves you time, it saves you money, so you can provide your family with that financial safety net starting right now. With Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $292 per year for $1 million worth of coverage. Some options offer same-day approval and avoid unnecessary medical exams. Policy Genius is an efficient way, making sure you cross every T, dot every I, they even dot the lowercase j's. That's how efficient they are at Policy Genius. And when it comes to life insurance, you can't mess around. Again, it's that safety net for your family. Policy Genius can compare your options from top companies, and their team of licensed experts is on hand to help walk you through everything and talk you through it as well. Again, not just any team, but an award-winning team of agents who will walk you through the process step by step. Check life insurance off your to-do list in no time and in an efficient manner with Policy Genius. Head to policygenius.com/lockedonmlb. That's policygenius.com/lockedonmlb, or click the link in the description to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save. That's policygenius.com/lockedonMLB. Taking a look ahead as the Phillies will continue this 10-game road trip after the split here with the Cincinnati Reds. They have a West Coast portion of the 10-game road trip, including 3 in San Diego against the 4-13 San Diego Padres. In tomorrow night's matchup, you got Joe Musgrove on the bump for the Padres, and you have Aaron Nola going for the Phillies. Musgrove comes into the game 3-2 on the season with a 5.74 ERA. Aaron Nola 3-1 with a 3.16 ERA. Musgrove coming into this game off a start where he went 7 innings, allowing 3 runs, including giving up two home runs to the Toronto Blue Jays. The Blue Jays did get the Padres did get the win in that matchup. He has gone at least 6 innings in each of his last 2 starts and allowed 3 earned runs in each of them, surrendering 4 home runs over his last 3 starts. So maybe, just maybe, the Phillies can jump on him a little bit. Also, when it comes to the strike zone, he's walked 7 batters in his last 3 starts. He's coming off a start where he did not walk a single batter. As for Aaron Nola, the last time he was on the hill, well, he wasn't flirting with a no-hitter because they got to him in the first inning, but he went 8 innings, allowing just 2 runs, both of them coming in that first inning. And now he's back on the bump for the Phils tomorrow, 3-1 on the season with a 3.16 ERA. Coming off a start where, he went 8 innings, striking out 7. Prior to that, 7 1/3, 1 run, striking out 9. Aaron Nola, since his first start of the season, knock on wood, has not allowed more than 2 earned runs in a start since his first start of the season. So 4 straight starts, look to make it 5. Starting tomorrow night, 9:40. Who's staying up with me? Who's staying up with me? We're going to have a little postcast action after that. Speaking of postcast action, ladies and gentlemen, this is only your first postcast of the day here in Philadelphia. We have Phillies postcast now. We have Sixers postcast later after their 7:30 start time. I know you're going to be following the draft and all that stuff, but we're going to be having instant reaction to the 76ers Game 3 playoff game in their first round series with the New York Knicks, seeing if they can come up with 1 win and get back in this series, baby. I'll be on 76ers postcast right here on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. So make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, make sure you follow, all that good stuff, because I'll be with you guys live again for a second installment of a Philadelphia Sports postcast after Sixers and Knicks Game 3 tonight. As for now, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Again, like, subscribe on the Philadelphia Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. My name is Mark Farzetta. Thanks for joining me. I'll be back with you guys tonight for a Sixers postcast after Game 3. Until then, go Sixers, and yes, of course, go Phils as well.